Hello everyone, my name is Decker Link, the trained unprofessional, and I just got over dealing with the stuff that was in the last Lagoon Lounge episode. I don't know if it was yesterday's episode, it should be, but in case something else came out before this and that, yeah, I had to take a little bit of a break, but I'm way behind in recording, so I gotta do all of it like right now, so let's fucking go! Back to the Lagoon Lounge! Not the Lagoon Lounge, this is fucking Echo. What is wrong with me? Toby built a small sandcastle next to the lake, in the process of digging a moat around it. Jenna drops a few twigs next to it before running off to find more decorations. Flynn is talking to Sydney, pointing at Toby's sandcastle. Sydney looks hesitant, but excited. He seems to make up his mind, suddenly running forward and kicking the top of the tallest castle. It breaks easily, with most of it flying into Toby's face. Toby flinches back, shocked, before immediately crying as he rubs at his eyes. Jenna comes running from across the beach, yelling before shoving at Sydney, who's laughing. She turns to Toby, who's trying to help him clean his face, but the lynx pushes her away before running towards the trail back to Echo. Aww. Little bastards. Monday, motherfucker! Let's do this shit. We're on Monday. Yeah River feeds Emma Lake from the north. It's a farther drive than the lake itself, but it does have a few nice clearings along its edge. One of them has a few branches and a rusted-to-hell public grill that I'm sure no one has used in decades. This is the place that we go. As we're unloading Leo's van, I decide to get the B-roll of the lake right away. It won't have much of a presence in the packet, so I think I'm just going to narrate over it later. The actual lake is only a few minutes' walk from here. It's a bit difficult navigating around the sagebrush, and I know I'm going to have to check for ticks later. By the time I reach the lake, my friends are pretty far behind me, hidden behind a few bends and hills. I'm getting uncomfortable with the idea of me holding this camera while I navigate the terrain. It probably would have been better if Leo had just parked the car near to the reservoir while I got out to film, but I guess even that still wasn't okay. There's a large square of paved ground next to the parking lot now, several benches and a row of brand new grills. Several lamps have been erected around the area too. Leo was right about the town trying to turn the reservoir into a recreational spot. That's a good fucking word. I can actually see a few jet boats skimming through the water, leaving long trails of white behind them. There's even what looks like a feline of some sort fishing in the shallows. It would explain why the motel is still in business. Lake Emma is fairly small, but only about 12 miles long and 5 wide. I look around before climbing to the top of a nearby hill to get my shots. Even with a few people there, it's still pretty quiet, aside from the train horns, and it's kind of eerie. I wrap up and start to quickly make my way back. It's hard to explain why I'm getting freaked out in broad daylight with people around. Either it's because of what happened all those years ago, or I'm just psyching myself out. I'm glad to hear my friends' voices again as I get closer. Then again, it sounds like they're fighting. Been acting like a dick all day. Be glad I came here at all. Apparently, it would have been better if you hadn't. Maybe I should have just fucking leave. Maybe I should just fucking leave then. It sounds like a lot more serious than our usual squabbles, so I quicken my pace. They seem to quiet down a bit once they see me coming. DJ's off to the side, looking out over the river, occasionally throwing a rock into it. Carl sits in a lawn chair, one of 6 that has been set out into a semicircle. He has his chin on a fist as he lazily stares at me. Jenna and Leo both stand next to each other, looking at Flynn, who's got his back turned, rummaging through the cooler. Hey, what's wrong? Nothing. Did you get your film? Yeah, got it. The silence is still awkward, and I have no idea what the hell to do with myself. I finally realize that I'm still holding the camera and decide to put that away. Hey, I'm gonna go for a quick swim. Haven't been in the water in a while. When we first got here, I was completely disappointed to find that the motel didn't have its own swimming pool. Being an otter, I like to swim at least once a day, if not more. At this point, it had been 3. Flynn finally turns around, a beer in his hand, as he cracks it open. It was true that he'd been acting a bit strange today. He'd held the entire trip up by a few hours, and when he finally shown up, his eyes were bleary and he seemed sluggish, like he'd been up all night. When we had asked if he was all right, he brushed us off. "Yeah, thanks for the help setting up, Chase. You're about as useful as this fat ass here." He swings the paw, holding the beer at Carl. "Flynn, so enjoy that swim while I set everything out." "Yeah, I will. Make my soda a diet while you're at it." I've had it with Flynn. He's souring the trip with his need to be an asshole.
"Go fuck yourself."
I ignore him as I strip off my shirt and head to the riverbank. I pat TJ on the shoulder as I pass him before slipping into the water. We're currently in the middle of a drought that has lasted the past 3 years, so the water is low, only about 10 feet at its deepest. It's enough through, and God, it feels good. It's spring, so the water is pretty cold. I swim back and forth a few times before finally diving in. Eventually I settle on drifting to the bottom, laying and gripping on a rocky floor as I stare up at the shimmery light above me. I feel the gentle current run over my body. It's nice to be away from all that tension above me. I feel isolated, alone, and for now, that feels good. None of the others could come down this deep, only I was able to. I remember when I was younger, I would give the others rides around the lake, able to swim its entire length and back. Even Flynn the asshole had done it a few times. It was one skill I had that I was proud of, even if it was inherent to my species. It still made me feel somehow useful, or at least different from everyone else, in a good way. I'd always felt like the odd one out in the group, as strange as it sounds. Where everyone else has a strong, distinct personality, I was just average. Sometimes I wonder if they were just friends with me because we all had to be when we were younger. This whole trip kind of forced me to think back on all the memories I have of this place and my friends. They were always doing cool things, being different, while I was just sort of blended into the background. Even then, I wanted to do something to stand out somehow. That's what I'm trying to do here, I guess. It's been about 7 minutes, and I only know that because but that's about as long as I can hold my breath. I decide I should go back up and help out, so I slowly let myself float back up to the surface, trying to stay in the same spot. When I surface, it's pretty quiet. For a second, I wonder if everyone's just gone. Of course, that's ridiculous, and as I come over the embankment, everyone's there. Predictably, Flynn didn't get my food out, so I go to the cooler and grab a sandwich and a soda before sitting in the empty chair next to Leo. Apparently, it was a good idea to bring lawn chairs, considering the tables looked like they were covered in a year's worth of bird shit.
"How was the swim?"
His tone is bitter and salty. He's not in his usual grumpy but good-natured mood. He's genuinely unhappy. What the hell is his deal? Amazing. I'm going to have to come back here again sometime during the week. You lizard people just don't understand. You hardly even need water. It always scares the hell out of me when you're down there that long. I'm built for it. Remember when you'd give us rides? That was fun.
Remember when you'd always scream like a girl when Chase would go out too far?
Wow, I remember that now. Hey, I've never really liked water. Anyway, Chase would do it on purpose. He knew I didn't like it out past to a certain point. Carl looks at me.
"You know what was really cool was when you would take us down for a dive."
"Oh yeah, Chase was like our own little submarine." I'm starting to get that otters are swimming clowns vibe again. Still, I kind of enjoy the attention.
"We'd get you to take us to the bottom so we could look for a treasure."
Leo makes air quotes around the last word. "And you know, you probably would have found way more stuff if you guys hadn't been dragging me down." I remember when,
"Are we really fucking talking about this?"
Everyone turns to look at Flynn. His voice is low and dangerous. There's a chill in the air because we all know what he means. I was actually feeling pretty good about it at this point, like we crossed a bridge, being able to talk about it for once. Apparently, we hadn't.
"Flynn? No, I'm serious. Do you think it's okay to fucking talk about this when the lake is just a quarter-mile away?"
You know what, Flynn? I think we should. Isn't that the part of the reason why we're here?
"No! If that was the case, we'd be over there. And we're here. And why is that?"
Everyone's quiet for a moment. I see TJ shrink into his chair, staring hard at his lap. Flynn, we came here because Chase needed footage. A change comes over Flynn. His face darkens and everyone sees it. Flynn turns to me and it takes some effort not to flinch back.
Yeah, and why's that, Chase? You're gonna put that in your fucking documentary?
No, Legham is important to. It's an important part of Echo's history.
Just what?
Flynn raises his eyebrow bridge at me, and finally, I just lower my eyes.
This was a stupid fucking idea.
You know what, Flynn? If you'd be a little more open, tell us what's on your mind, we'd be able to avoid a lot of this kind of stuff.
Oh, you want to know what's on my mind?
Flynn swivels and marches up to Carl.
Alright, let's start with you. You're fat, lazy, no motivation, no future. What the hell are you even planning on doing with your life? Sit here, waste away in Echo, mooching off your parents until you're dead?
Carl stares back up at Flynn impassively, though he's hunched in on himself a bit further. Flynn, don't do this right now.
And you thinking you're better than everyone else. I can tell you think everyone at Echo is trash. Just because me and the others haven't left, you think we're lower than you. Just because we don't have an education, we're a bunch of retards. Yeah? Well, you let your whole fucking family behind you without even saying goodbye. You know what's even going on with them right now? What they're dealing with? Yeah, real fucking hero you are. Stop it, Flynn. Our unquestionable leader. We wouldn't have been friends without you, would we? That's why you brought us here, right? So we can all bond? Oh wait, was it just because you wanted to get back into Chase's pants?
Leo's ears fall flat.
Probably. You've been a mess ever since he left, so let me be the one to tell you. It's over. It's fucking unhealthy. You're obsessed with him.
Slowly, his head turns to me and I brace myself.
And I can't imagine why. You, Chase, have the personality of a fucking rock, and I wish you could see yourself. You just sit there like a creep watching everyone, weighing everything that we say. And don't think I haven't caught the way you stare at all of us, like we're all objects to be collected. What, are you just planning to cycle through all of us for sex? Sure seems like it.
Flynn stops, then exhales. Seems like it's all over. I really hope it is. That proves futile, though, as Flynn turns slowly on TJ. I'd silently prayed that the Lynx would make a run for it, but while Flynn had his attention focused on us, but TJ looked apathetic. Looks like a statue, there's no soul in him. Flynn pauses, though, as if he's at a loss for what to say. Finally.
What happened, TJ?
Flynn. Leo stands up. From his posture, I can tell the wolf is ready to fight. Memories are starting to flow back. TJ, Flynn, thinking he'd done something, starting to... I stand up too. Flynn may sound like he's a hard ass, but physically Leo had him beat easily. Flynn can obviously tell that he might have a fight on his hands, though, and it's clear he doesn't want that. He drops his shoulders, seeming to shrink, as if invisible strings that had been holding him up were cut. He turns to us, then gestures at TJ.
I just want the truth. Can we put a stop to this today, right now? I don't think you know how much of a nightmare this has been for me, not really knowing. TJ.
TJ stares up at Flynn, muzzle set grimly.
What happened to Sydney?
It's dead quiet. TJ stares at his lap, not moving. Come on, let's... Flynn holds up a hand towards me, still staring at TJ. Slowly, TJ looks up, his face still stoic, he's still made of stone. I already told you what happened.
Bullshit!
Flynn steps forward, but Leo's there to grab the back of Flynn's shirt and swing him around. I dodge out of the way as Flynn is flung back to land on his ass, kicking up a big cloud of dust.
Shit!
Flynn, I swear to God, if you start a fight here, I'm gonna drop your stupid ass! Everyone except TJ is standing now, staring at Flynn. Flynn sits there, glaring up at Leo, obviously weighing his chances. He seems to come up short, though, as he spits into the side and stands up, brushing his pants off as he turns away.
You're all okay with not knowing? Fuck all of you!
He turns back around, hands in his pockets, a bitter look on his face.
This whole thing was stupid, Leo. We're not even friends anymore.
Flynn scuffs the ground before turning and walking towards the trail that goes back to Echo.
God damn it, Flynn! Fuck off!
Flynn keeps walking, and it's pretty clear that he isn't coming back.
Ugh.
I raise a paw and rub it over my eyes. What is he doing? He's a passionate guy. That will sometimes just explode with all these insecurities before running away and hiding for a few days. He skewered us all like that before, but that was classic Flynn. But he was especially mean, dark. That part with TJ, I vaguely remember Flynn having some sort of suspicion, but that had been a long time ago. Had he been sitting on that this whole time? I went to the left and see that TJ's gone. Carl's sitting down, but now it looks like he's pulling out a joint. Leo's walking off down another trail, cursing while Jenna follows him. I stand there next to my chair, undecided. Well, we're supposed to pursue Carl, so hey, Carl. God damn it. What I would choose, like, I was even debating about this. I was like, maybe I should do my route before the one I want to do before I start doing fan choices, but you know, it was just so overwhelming. People were like, you gotta do Carl's route. You gotta do Carl's route. So, like, I might as well fucking do Carl's route. Not who I would choose. Right now, in this situation, I would choose to try to find TJ. But we're gonna sit with Carl. God damn it. I'm tired and I feel awful. I just don't have it into me to chase anyone down right now. Flynn's back off to Echo, and it looks like Leo went after TJ. But I can't imagine the Lynx wants all of us crowding around him right now. I sigh, rubbing my face before I sit down and launch it to Carl. He looks over at me, slowly lowering what's definitely a joint from his mouth. But I don't mind. I make a go-on gesture with my paw. Carl shakes his head, though, pushing the disheveled tube back into his front pocket. Nah, I always kind of feel like a dick when the other guy isn't into it. Want me to leave? He shakes his head with a quick flick of his horns. No, man, I just do it when there's nothing else to do. There's a moment of silence, and I feel a little pressure to break it, since I'm the one who interrupted his bake session. I actually tried it a few years ago. Carl looks surprised. Oh, really? How was it? I shrug. Pretty bad. Wasn't a muffin, I think. Carl makes a face at that. Edibles. Yeah, well, I ended up eating one. Didn't feel anything for a while. Next thing I know, I'm face down on the floor and everyone's freaking out. Shit, that sucks. It was kind of funny, but I don't think I'll ever try it again. Carl pulls the joint back out of his pocket and holds it up. That's why you should use one of these. It's easier on the brain. Yeah, well, I guess I just don't like the idea of putting smoke in my lungs. Carl puts the joint back in his pocket. I get that. Again, there's a few seconds of silence, and I try to think of something to say, but Carl beats me to it. Crazy shit, huh? I assume he's talking about what just happened. What the fuck would it be anything else? Man, that fucking thing in Libya, I don't know. Yeah, crazy. But you know how he is. He's regretting everything right now. No, I guess I'd rather he just wouldn't say it in the first place. What he said to TJ, man, he picks on him a lot, but that was crossing the line. Carl scratches behind one of his horns, then rubs his nose. Hell yeah, I guess I never understood that either. Making fun of TJ is like making fun of a cloud. But Flynn doesn't mean it, usually. He likes TJ. I've noticed during the trip that Carl's been pretty defensive of Flynn, even though he's the butt of most of the lizard's jokes. I'd seen Flynn trip Carl up and put him in several headlocks since I got here. You'd think getting older would change that, but I swear they roughhouse even more than they did before. So you and him still seem pretty close. You guys hang out a lot? Yeah, a bit. Mostly because there isn't much else to do. He's got a friend in Peyton that he hangs out with sometimes, too. So what do you guys do? I know Flynn isn't into video games at all, and Carl probably doesn't care to go clubbing every other night. He shrugs. Sometimes we go fishing, maybe just drive around Peyton. Mostly I'm just hanging out at home, though. Playing video games? Playing video games, watching movies, cybering with a chatbot, the usual. I grin. It's sad. I would have cybered with you if I had known you didn't have anyone. I don't know, man. That thing complies with all the fetishes of the people it's talked to. It's gotten my sexuality all kinds of fucked up. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it seems like no matter what I say to her, she's tied up into some warehouse, blindfolded with a few missing limbs. You underestimate my What the fuck? You underestimate my abilities.
Oh, and a gender swap that comes out of nowhere halfway through.
Well, while you're not sexing up a robot, you doing anything else? He chuckles.
I can't exactly get myself around anymore.
I'll get around myself anymore. So I guess your parents decided against getting you a new car?
Yeah. Oh, look at this.
He leans over and pulls out his phone. I can't help but notice that it's a top model brand, probably around $700. But he's not showing me the phone. Instead, he presses on the screen a few times and swipes through some pictures. So where I see an image of Flynn with his pants down, mooning the camera. Carl swipes over it pretty quick, though, and now I'm looking at the image of a brand new sedan. Except the front is neatly folded up around the front pole of a stop sign. Damn! I recognize the sign. I'd actually seen it right outside the convenience store, still bent at a ridiculous angle. Guess the town didn't care enough to get it fixed. No, that fucking... that's very familiar. The pole itself almost embedded into the middle of the hood. Holy shit! Carl chuckles and pinches the screen, zooming in.
Yeah, I dropped my phone, and when I came back up, the friggin' pole was right in front of me.
Really, Carl? Why were you on your phone?
I don't know. When I get to the town, I don't really think anyone's gonna be on the road.
I sigh, then notice a big round spot in the right side of the windshield, spiderwebbed and smashed white. Whoa, is that...
Yep.
Carl knocks on his head for effect, the hollow sound that it emits seeming rather appropriate. You rely on that too much. You really need to start wearing your seatbelt. He shrugs and puts the phone back in his pocket before leaning back in the chair and closing his eyes.
What's the point?
To not die?
Happens to everyone sooner or later. Why not get out early if you can?
Damn. He keeps his voice light under the heavy statement. I have no idea what to say to that, so I don't. But he breaks the silence again soon enough.
So how's PU? You see Chelsea at all?
Sometimes I forget Carl went to Pueblo with me. It was only one semester, but we had a lot of fun. It's alright. I haven't seen Chelsea at all, though.
It's a big school. Anyway, what's that project thing you're doing?
Just a news packet about Echo, really. Kinda about how it's fallen apart.
Huh.
I've told him this already, but Carl never remembers much. Might center it around the whole body and the mind thing that happened way back. Carl opens his eyes and looks at me.
So, do you need, like, history stuff? Like, old books and records and stuff?
Yeah, if it relates. Carl sits up straighter and grins.
Well, why didn't you say so? We've got a ton of that stuff in the crawl space from way back when.
Yeah? What kind of stuff? Carl sets a hoof against one of the rocks circling the fire pit and starts rocking his chair back.
Well, whatever my family kept over the years. That one guy,
Carl snaps his fingers a few times.
You know, the guy, founder of this place,
James?
Yeah, sure, he's like my great-great-great-grandfather or something. I think we still have some of that stuff from back in the day. My parents were thinking about setting up an Echo Museum thing, but they never did.
This might actually be useful to me. All I had planned was maybe look over some old newspapers or town records and be done with it. Actually, seeing some old stuff up close could be pretty cool. That might be a good idea, actually. Carl grins.
Awesome! I always kind of wanted to look through that stuff, but the crawl space is damn creepy. You free tonight?
The first time Carl actually looks excited.
Oh, wait, never mind. Flynn's taking me to a dentist appointment early in the morning. How about 11 tomorrow? 11 tomorrow.
I smile. Sounds like a plan.
Sweet. Whoa!
He fell backwards, didn't he? Carl gives an excited kick off the rock, and the chair's tipping back. The back legs practically snap under his weight. Oh, shit. He sent slamming down on his rear, the chair a crumpled mess under his ass. I laugh, and of course I feel bad, but Carl just gets up with a sheepish smile, looking down at the broken pile. Even the music stopped. Even the music stopped because a fucking whelp showed up. Every game. Every fucking game!
Leo's gonna be pissed.
Oh shit. I'm driving down the road alongside the lake. Carl's sitting next to me. He's in the chair that he broke. I keep telling him to wear his seatbelt, but he won't. I turn down a road I don't remember. It goes straight down towards the lake. For some reason, I can't stop. brace myself for the impact, but I hardly feel anything. We just glide into the lake. I start trying to take off my seatbelt, but it's stuck. I look over at Carl and he smiles before opening his door. Water rushes in and he starts to step out. Soon the water is over my head and it doesn't matter that I'm an otter. Shit! You've been having nightmares like a motherfucker. That sucks!
Tuesday!
On the next episode, thank y'all very much for watching, and until then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Shane Up First, speak for the voices of my haywire self. Until next time, Flick, fare very well. Bye, everybody, I'm fucking tired!